experience like knowing those things, but maybe from other classes or like by any other chances, you do have a like opportunity to like create something, it's okay, yeah. But mainly I need to like, because like I know some students they do like use their own VM to create or something like that. So I'm saying I allow you to do that, but if you want to know how to build those things like the API server, connect to a database, how can you like connect those things together? And you're welcome to like, but to me too, I'm not always like, even when I was a student too, like when I learning, I'm not really follow all the instructions. But if you are able to change those things, that means you know like the whole structure. Yeah, you are like very clear about the actually when you're doing like that, you need to spend more time like effort to like build, more effort. So but it's a good experience for yourself, like to know, okay, if I need to deal with like now, you never know, maybe your boss say, I just want to use NAS. Then you know how to do that.
So if I end up in IT, what you know,
Yeah.
go with whoever's first. So there.
Yeah.
Just from there.
Yeah, you never know. Also depends on if you want to start your own company to like have a startup and then doing it.
It's good on a resume.
Yes.
I don't have a ton of major projects.
Okay, yeah, true. Actually, when you compare with lots of students, like even graduates like computer science or cybersecurity, actually you have nothing on your resume. Something like that. Yeah, so at least you say
Very little.
Yeah, very little. So I say like if you are transferring to at least your profile, you like create your own website, maybe sometimes say get your own domain, how to set the DNS for to it. And it's a good portfolio for yourself. And also you can host your own portfolio like on have website, then you can show it. Okay, I know how to like everything I build by myself.
Yeah.
Okay, so and
Like
it's
my resume currently is just half of it is just the classes and the skills.
and
And then I have 3 projects. Like, there's not much on there.
actually it's a photo
To as much as I can.
Yeah.
On that.
Yeah, well, for today I upload this a page like how to using the some CSS like some modules like modify, so you can do it today. So actually today I have several things going to cover. Yeah. Okay.
And of course, he's always back. Oh, wow. Actually, she's mostly.
Okay.
He is really.
Okay. So okay, let's start our web programming. So in the last lab, so on Tuesday we like try to work on something about the router. The router, that means like we try to adding a menu or like the navigation, so we can click on it and switch from page to page. So right here. Okay. Not yet, but I already this one I recorded on the Zoom. So once I think allow it, I click on it, then you should able to see it. Yeah. Okay. So let me go through and I'll do it like enable. You should able to see it. Okay. And for this time we need to like finish the setting. Because last time I mentioned about the data from the API server, because when we build a website, we are not only building some like static page, we sometimes we need to change the content or like based on the data from the server, we need to like refresh. Okay. So today we have several things we have to cover, and this part is about the database. And last time I think I showed this one. Let me connect to the server. Because I asked you to install the MongoDB, but I'm also I think it's the lecture previous lab I show you how to connect. Oops. Okay, I hit myself. Okay, so I told you to. Let me turn off this. Okay. So when we connect to the MongoDB, so we're using the Mongo SH. So the shell will connect to the MongoDB SH. Okay. Then what's the command? Like first we need to sometimes time up. Let me connect. So first we need to create a database. So when we create a database, we use the keyword called use and then put the database name. Okay. Just suddenly disconnected. Okay. And using use right here, let me show you the page. Let me see. Okay. MongoDB.
Te
Okay.
digo que necesito
So
hacer
the
una
MongoDB
pantalla.
right here, and when we build it, we will putting a use with then we can create a database using a name. So if you are able to connect to the shell, then you can try to do that. If you do have a name exists, like a database exists, then it will use that one. If it doesn't exist, the MongoDB, the shell will create a new one. So it won't like tell you this one you already created before or not, but you need to check. So you need to remember name, and then after you create the database, then we when you study RDMS is called tables. So it's the same idea. This one called a collection. So we can use a db.collection. So you can give this collection a name. So you can replace one of my collection to any name you want to create. Let's say if it's a user account, you can say user account, or like is some extra information, let's say products, then you can put it as a product. And for testing, you can import your first item. Let's say if you want to import, then you can say db dot, then put your collection name right here and dot. We can have different type to insert data. This one called the insert run. So I'm going to just insert one record. So I have so it's in a JSON format. So we give it a name, and then it's a value, and then another name. But this name is called value, and then it's an integer. So we don't have to declare like what's the data type, but based on the input. So the MongoDB is it will determine. Okay, so if you put the quotation over there, so you know it's a string, and if you just like putting the numbers, it's an integer. So it put like 1.2, 1.3, then you know it's a floating number. So you can do it in this way. So you can follow the step to try to create a number, like the data for testing. Okay. So if you're able to finish this part, then we'll move on to start the server, API server. You see me? I test the data. Okay. Let me show you. Because for the MongoDB, I not really cover, but because you asked the question, so we have using like the show the list, show the collection. So show collection data like this. Let me show you. Just get anything, and then so we have like show DPs. So it's there all the database you are using, and then using like show collections. So it will show the creation you just create. Okay. And if you want to see the data you store, then you need to using db dot and then put the collection name and then dot font. So without any filter. That means we didn't put any condition, then you will see all the records. So all these are pretty usual comments you are going to use and check the data from your MongoDB. Okay. Will be show DBs, and if you want to check the collection you already create in that database, then you need to like use it first. That means you need to switch to that database and using show collection. So if you remember the keyword we say that if you need to create a new one, create collection. If I want to check it, show collections. Okay. And if you want to check the data inside your collection, that means the table. then we need to using the db dot and put your collection name and dot file. And the same concept, if you want to check your tables, like in MySQL, you will using the show database, right? Okay, and then maybe when you use that database, also you can show the tables, so you will see your tables. And when you try to select start from the table name without any condition, it will list all the content. So it's the same way to doing it, okay? If you're able to complete this part, then yeah, because when I go through also I will talk about the API server that will help you and then you can start to work on it. So our main purpose today, one thing is that you are able to grab the data from the server and show it. Okay. So when I upload, there's one more called the API server. So the API server is working for, wait a second. API server right here. Okay. If you look at the lecture right here, I'm telling you, okay, so how can we build the API server? When you download it, this one I will recommend you better like you can run it as a local server. Like let's say if you connect access to your the AWS, you can do it like everything locally. Okay, you can do it like you can do everything locally. You can download this API server and then you can put it like under a folder. So here we demonstrate you are able to download see this file under the week 6 folder called the API server or like the MongoDB API. So they are kind of like same copy. Okay, this time I'm doing is like if I run it in my local server. So right here, let's say if I want to start any location, and then I will create a directory. You say we don't know. We still able to do this part. We still able, just like do it on your local desktop. So right now I'm showing how can you do it in your local desktop if you cannot connect to your like AW2 or somehow. But it's the same method. So same way. So let's say you find a location you want to create your folder. So here I say okay, for maybe for today's class will be I say CSCI 380. Okay, so I have a folder right here. And then just like working, let me working under this directory. Okay. 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 And what do you need to do? Just get the file. Okay. Once you download the file right here, let me copy it. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Okay. Let me use this one. I don't want to change. Okay. Okay. So why now is if you are doing locally or if you are working on the AWS server, if you can connect to it, just like create, make sure because under for the API server, we don't have to care about the Nginx like that one. We just need to have a local host. Or if you declare the one, because if we have the Nginx port, we listening to the if you remember the Nginx we mentioned before about the PubC server. I will show you the Nginx too later, but this one. And what do you need to do? Just copy the API file from here. You can download it. API file, you just move it to here. Maybe just make a copy. Okay. So I'll copy right here. Okay. When you're able to see it, okay, let me put a larger font so you'll see everything. If you have a Node.js and NPM, it's a like prerequisite. Then everything we can start from this part. Okay. If you are able to check like using the Node -v, check the version and NPM v to like check the version. If you have all these things, For the API server, we require two dependency modules. One is called a happy and one is called the MongoDB. If from other class you see, I will some code say mongoose is called a Mongo SC, that one. We have different node package can use like as gateway to connect to the MongoDB. So for this one is an example, I'm using the MongoDB. Okay, it's a modules. So basically you can follow all the syntax statement copy. Here's the one thing is about the port 3000. If you aware of it, like when we are running the React.js, we are running under 3000, right? This port. But if we are declare same port running under if I follow this configuration right here 3000 and you start the React port, it will detect it. Let's say the happy.js, we already like occupy the 3000 port, and the React.js will detect it and say, okay, you already have some service using this port, then it will change to like 3001 or 2 or 3, depends on the service you had. Okay, and here is the configuration. So for the MongoDB, we are connecting through the host is like 27017. So it's by default like all the is the same. So all of you are same. And but this one using the unified topology, if you come like pops out some warning because it start to face up. So if you don't want to see the warning, just remove it. Just keep it like this. And here is like the client. We already build a client and then start to connect it. So if your MongoDB is executing, but if you want to like working on your locally, then your Windows system or Mac need to install the MongoDB on your own. So you should have it. So because like for the AWS, you already have it. So another prerequisite you have to install is the MongoDB, the same. Okay. And we need to connect to the database. So you can use the database. You just declare, like, let's say if you CSCI 310 or like any name, you just create, and then you need to declare the collection. So put the collection name right here. So we place it. So first one is that we place the database name, and then second we place the database collection name. Okay. So once you replace all these things, then we can start to implement. For here, the basic like structure of it is a server is a route. So we need to define the method. So for the method, we have like get, post, and then like put, delete. But mainly for our project, we can maybe using like put and post. So get and post, and for put and delete, we barely use it because put is mainly to update the content. That means that if I have different method with the same name, it's still okay because like they will classify like by the method itself. But for better development, we always try to like put in make sure. Okay, so based on the path, let's say I have a local host. If I doing in this way, then it will look like this. Get items, that means like local host and then 3000/get item. So it's our actual path. If I add something in like before it, API/API, that means a localhost 3000. So the complete path so will look like this. So if I doing like localhost 3000, right? If I executing, if I slash, then I need to put API, get items. That's how it looks like. Okay. If I didn't put it, then I can just do it in this way. So here's the structure of it, and then right here the collection define. So we try to because we finished the configuration like to connect to the MongoDB. Here is that without any searching criteria condition. So we just find everything, and then convert to an array and return it to our client. Okay, so how it works, and slightly different for the post method. So post method, and then we give it a name. If you having, let's say you have two get method and then you put the name exactly, the happy.js, like when you start to run the server, it will detect, okay, there's a conflict because you like put same method and same path route. So you have to change it. And we to get a handler, it's like maybe you can do some calculation, like checking, get the value. And here when post, it's like we always sending the data through the, we call the body. And then the body will be, is getting from the request payload. So if I upload the items right here, so it's a like JSON format. If you look at the sample, if I post it, let's say I have a name and then value, like declare in your MongoDB. And then what you need to upload is the same format, name and then the value. So maybe the number. If you want to set up an account, maybe you will just like username and password like this. Okay. So this one will insert into your MongoDB. And insert one, that means I only insert one record, and then or you can have another function called like insert many. So you can insert like multiple like records into it. So here it will be the basic two route we're going to implement like for the lab. So for the project later you're doing, you need to like build more route like handle based on the one you need to do. And for the rest, just like some basic information. So you can copy this one and start your server. Okay. And after you finish, like we prepare like all the API server, and then you should able to get the data. Because I already upload it, so let me show you the data. Okay, so this one I already implement and executing, like right now it's running on my AWS EC2 server. So once I put the API, because when you see the path, I give you as an example right here. So it's a /API, right? For the better behavior, I want to make it like distinguish with the original page. Let's say I have a web page right here. Okay. Just a tag. Maybe I have a page look like this, and I will like send the data to the server. Then I can like make it distinguish like /API, and then I can show you. Let me connect to the server. Then I can show you one thing. Okay. Okay. So if you're able to see the block, that's like how I handle the request. So it's a complete way to finish. Like we have a location /API. So that means that when I type the API, I will have a proxy pass. So this one will pass to my local host 3000. So 3000 is running my API server, like on the AWS side, the cloud server. So I forward everything to there. And then one more thing, be aware of, like when you start your project. So sometimes you will get an error why you couldn't able to connect your API server. Then you need to be aware. We always need to add a header for the access control allow method, also the headers. Because like they will have a called a CORS error. When we detect is from different source, like this location, then they will block. Sometimes the Chrome will block your access. So we need to fix this. We need to add the header. I will share this I think I do have a configuration text NGX configuration, so you can try to follow and look at it. Well, I know that time is like not enough, like finish everything. So just like try to set up the yep. Okay, so if do it locally, so you just download it, and then let's say why not I download the file and put the API server right here, right? And what do I need to do? I just let me exit. Okay, so why not under this directory, I have the API server. You already installed the node on your local, right? So I just execute API server like this. But right now you will see, okay, it will pop out lots of error. The reason why, because it requires two things. The Happy.js and the MongoDB. So what do we need to do is just using npm install like Happy.js and okay, so I'm not using this too. If you want to like make the project like easier, you can start with the npm. If you still remember, sometimes we will start the npm project. So let's say I can start from here. It's called the npm initial. Okay, so maybe I say CSCI 380. Okay, use the name, package, version. You can, if you want, you can put all this information. I just skip it. And then the entry point is API server.js, right? So right here. So if I click enter for everything, it pops out a package JSON. So it's the like it shows all the settings of this project. And what do I need to do? Using the npm install. The first package, the first one we require, if you don't know what should I install, look at the header, like what we require. First, I require the Happy.js. So I will install Happy.js. And then I request one is called the MongoDB. So I will install the MongoDB. And here, this one is the option. So it's called the save. Save will be save this dependency, like they save it as a dependency. So if you upload this package file, maybe like push to the Git, save it, then you don't have to download it. Okay, so let's say I went out install it. You will see after I finish the installation, it comes out called the node modules folder. This nodule folder will be created after we install all those like package. But for the development, like when you are working together or you need to like upload your files to the server or like for production, we barely say upload all those like package, the node modules to the server. So what do you need to do? That's why we're using save. So you can just like upload the package.json file and then run the npm install. Then it will help you to grab all the dependencies you are required for this project, and it will install everything. Then you don't have to like go through the like npm initialize and npm install all those dependencies again. So right now I already installed this two package, and what do I need to do? Just node or like you can like npm start or like node.js, either way is fine. Then it will showing okay, it's running on localhost. Okay. Because I didn't configure the MongoDB on my locals, but if you finish it, then you can access the data like this, and then like get items look like this. But if you get the error, like to me, it makes sense. Like because I didn't have a MongoDB, like I don't have the database, I don't have collection, so it should be have a error message comes out. But to you, just like if you want to do it locally or if you have an issue, like connect to the AWS, for development, you're okay because for submitting as a project or like maybe doing assignment, I ask you to complete all these things. You're okay like working everything locally. But I like when I teach you, I will let you know like how can we like upload everything or working on the server side. But for development, we always are working locally. So if you finish all these steps, then we need to do is you need to download one more folder. It's called a data fetcher. So this one is using for the React app. Okay. So React app. So I want to show you right here. So I will like put this file under the SRV, the source file. Mainly what you need to see is like we have the called a use effect. So use effect is that when I load this page and then what I'm going to do, I will fetch the data. So I will fetch this one, I put the path. This one I am connecting to my AWS, the server, and then with the like get items. So this one get item. So I check is the response okay. If not okay, then I say okay, some issue. If no, I'll save it and save a file. And I will return the data. So right here, I say, okay, from the API server. That's what you see from my So you see this one, I'm running my React.js locally. And then I can connect my React.js like to retrieve data from the cloud server. You can do like get it locally or from the cloud. So it depends on you. So will be this part. Then you say, how can I show this page? Actually, I just put it under the app.js and then the home, I put under the content. Let's see about us. Okay, so I import it. So I import this file and then just put the tag data fetcher. So I fetch it, and then because I return the tag, so you will see this one. I will just have a there's some method function, but I will cover this part like for how can we use it later. But for today, like you got the research, so I want to like cover basically like everything you need for your project. Then you can start to do that. Okay, so you can look at, we have a JSON file. It may be an array. Comment is a mapping. So we have the like I use the ID to like put it as a key, and then I put the name and value. That's what you see right here. So I'm using the UL and UI, so create a list. Okay. Where did I put? You can just like if I put it under a bus, so I put it right here. So you can put it anywhere. So here is the example. How can we like call it? You can put it under like homepage, about, contacts, or any new pages. Okay. I just tell you how can we like import it and then use it. Okay. So here's the whole picture of creating this part. Also, I upload the home.js. And if you want to work on something like, let's say for your profile, because like it's an extra work for you. Let's say if you want to have a name and then you want to put your picture, some like position. So this one without the like CSS, so you can try to create it like using the CSS. Try to quickly cover most of the things, then you can start to work on it. And one more I will recommend, you're not required, but I will recommend one is called the Bootstrap. So be careful because for Bootstrap UI is one of the really popular using in the community for the React.js. So also one is called a symmetric UI. So we have so many like called CSS and package you can use. So I said you don't have to really like implement everything by yourself. And how can you use it? Just remember just using npm install. So it's the same. So all the same way, and then we have so many from the document. I cannot cover everything in the class, but you can refer to the online document and then looking for the example later. So by default, you show okay, if I want to create a card, and then or like I want to using like create a form, and then they will show you some example. If I let's say if I want to create a form like this, you can just like copy the source code and modify it. Okay. If you want to change the color, then you can go to the we can have an inline CSS or the global CSS. You can like on top of it, like override the original CSS. But for this slide, I will cover later. So just let you have a rough picture, like brief idea how to build everything. So if you're able to finish this thing, then you have kind of like able to build a website. And once you finish everything, we want called the npm build, we create the file. So let's say if I finish everything, then I would say like using the npm build and so I need to go back to the run. Okay, so when I'm building the file, so once I finish build the file, so this one like because we say React.js is the like component based, so we building everything. But once we need to deploy it to the server, we need to upload this one. So this one is the final file upload to the server. Okay. So but later for a project, you need to like submit source code, also submit the build file. So here's like have like overall pictures of everything. So right now I will help you to like step by step go back to the API server, even the MongoDBs. Okay, so time is start to helping you to do stuff. Okay, well, I know some of you are working like change to working on your locally, and maybe you can spend some time install the MongoDB or somehow like I know because the server sometimes late now. What is connect? Even it happened to me. I didn't even the MongoDB second to SSC. No, you don't have to reply install engines. You know what? Engines have us to like handle the routering something. Many tables for the server. The server is in the car, and the access. Right now we are working on local. Because Windows, you don't have to. So all this information, they are also yes, Linux, yeah. But you need to use that. You need to pass. What you mainly need to do are remember for your computer, so you already have change, right? And also you have the okay, so you have this like place that you have this project right. Yeah, and then the second is about the API. You also will run it under using the interface. So you have no problem with one the interface. One thing is like we are using the computer. It's a database. You don't have your demo. I think you okay. So what you need to do right now so like so what you do is install the okay, so you can like follow the steps. Like how can you like install the MongoDB? Okay, yeah. So now you can just download what I said. I did like most of the yeah. I use Windows so just when it's which I mean I was saying okay, so trying to get video access to the so I think I gave I install Windows so if you couldn't access it. Okay, so if you reject your connections, so you can do one thing, like to restart instance and then try to advance. Okay,
So I've got
okay,
yeah, we've got
one thing that will solve Windows
AS file.
Okay, so right now you under okay, you have the no more. So when you install it, we have one more three separate npm. Because I learned a little bit, so if you see my comment, I just say add to install, then also have one more. So actually install one more. Once you couldn't find it, then you will not get installed. So you can this one I will use the npm install MongoDB, and I also I as well I say the same thing will save the video packages and our packages like registration. Your data for the project or somehow when you upload it. We have never upload the Node.js modules the whole file. Yeah, because if you check it, then module files also can so many languages. So it's not a smart way like upload all the files. And that's why we use the save function. So we save in like the .json file. So okay, this is event. So when you upload it and when you run they will have to wrap all of files. So you don't have to wait for one time, so you can just start using say. So once you finish the storage, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, this is- Okay. So this should be,
Yeah, it's located inside of our working environment.
the modules,
Inside this.
no, we don't.
It's adding to the.
Yeah, it's under. So, so when you install, so right now, when you execute, you can log, and then server, the things. And then, yes, it's one name successful. Okay, so once you are able to. So you. Oh, no. Okay, right now you don't have the APIs, okay, I got you. So you don't have a server interface. You need to create or like copy it. Okay. Yes. Okay. After you modify, so this one is the basic. Yes. So you can.
Yes,
Okay, so.
Yes.
Yes, good. Okay, so you are able to start, okay. Okay, first step, okay, you are start the server, and the next step is like you need to modify your server.js. Okay, you need to connect to the MongoDB. Okay, I already uploaded. So you can download yeah, and API and so you will see right here, we define the heavy JS thing. So we say opening of local 2000. You can change the number to any, because like, if you're running on the service, or like if you're running on local, that's why I say, okay, because the JS is using 2000, if you're running the local host, like, you can change to 2000. But actually, they are limited. So if you're running the JS on 2000 ports, the service will change to like 2000. Okay. So you don't have a, but you're working by local, but you are like. Yeah, I go through everything so fast, but just like go back step by step. So this part is like trying to connect to the MongoDB. So you see the MongoDB. So by default is the 27 or 17. So it's the default port for MongoDB. So we don't have to change anything. And then use like unified technology. So that was like kind of like I will work where so that one like you version is going table. If you don't record it, but you execute this file like for our sake. It's like it's a one executing out to like so you can I will until the comma. Yeah. They are pretty smart. Like if you put a comma, they will use like extra one more time. So you can and then connect it and then give it. So then you create a fields. You can use that was the field is name. And then give it a connection. It's like connect to the connection. If you don't mind, it will be just like a connection. Same name, just like you need to change it. So if you finish all this part, it should be okay. Then you can test it with this two process. So I give you the example is for you will see the differences of these two because maybe one is like using slash is I want to if I show you the Nginx server block because I want to make it like a development once for the website. Sometimes when we are hosting so the for the website and then if I want to connect to the Nginx server, I will put a slash the specific say but for testing you don't have to put it. If you want, yes, you can add it. So actually, you see everything kind of same. And it's synchronized and so get method we will pass in the like the just pass it in the URL. Okay. Okay. So we return. So we use it the factory and fun. Fun is the function to get say okay. If you have some criteria, so later actually you can put something like inside bracket, then it's color filter. So we will find something matching. Okay, yeah. But for this one, just
So where does this file go? Is this supposed to be on the API server or is this local?
API server on the cloud, or if you have like MongoDB installed, but for we did like for production, we always run it on the cloud. So just like as an alternative in case like I don't know, even sometimes I my MongoDB or my server I could like access database, and then you can do it locally, but if you can connect, just like putting a and you can create a folder with this file and then just run it. MongoDB JS. It's okay. So when now you identify, so this on the server.
Oh, this is that file.
Yeah, it's that file. Okay, so just replace it. Okay, yeah, just replace it and then replace the server file. Yeah, because the one you are executing right now without the route. You just like start the server, but you have nothing to do. Yeah, and so but right now you need to change it, modify, connect to the MongoDB and then right. So you step. Okay. So okay. Okay, so are you I think
So this is not.
okay, you will make it.
This is like.
Oh, you are the managed for you. Okay. Okay.
Those computers go up.
Let's discuss similar, so you know the API server. And then one more thing is you need to modify the engines. Okay. Oh, no, then I think this one is, your lower. Okay, I know most of you may be confusing, like everything, four pictures, okay. I will go one time again. Right here in the whole project, we working with the server side, for the VM, building the website, it's a local. Okay, so anything you see right here, that's not anything, to the local, yeah, the local 2000. Okay, so. Okay. Okay. Okay, you know what, if you follow it and if you copy the source code, because you comment things too much. Yeah, because you are getting the data from myself.
I don't know where I'm downloading.
That's what I.
It's just.
Okay, so we need to, actually for this file, the reason why we like create the AWS, the server, as a host, because we have the API server, so we are hosted two parts.
Right.
Okay, so the database and API server, so anything they are hosted on. Also the website, after you finish it, we'll put it on the website. Okay. So let's say when of the AWS we install the MongoDB, so we will I give you some instructions like ED and create a connection and then insert the data here. So we have the data when I store in SQL Server and then how can we get it? We are not using MongoDB as right? So we need to use the API server. I gave you the source code. Also we have put it on server and then using the one to execute. Okay, so you see it's same as a local host 3000. That one's for the API server. For the heavy JS. You need to your own. So one of its past view is for the API server. So it's help us to like handle like different route. So if you look at the example, I gave you so that one's like I will connect using the MongoDB gateway. So you see the port is so it will connect to the MongoDB database. So I can so just like follow all the syntax, then you should be able to get the things. If you like follow all my previous steps, I have like create a state connection successfully. Then for this one you should be able to get it. So when you see the very different route, let's say I will use the get items, and then I will connect to the MongoDB tables in the collection to find out the data. So you can see the function. I didn't put any parameter, like any parameter is like I will get anything. Okay, so if I pass along, let's say I want to get specific value. And I just pass it, let's say I have a username, this is a username, and I will try to run that. Okay, so it's how the.
Yeah.
So it's like if you can follow this step, so you always like have like 40%. And the next is that how can we configure the nginx file to let the brand access it. So if you look at my sample code, I put the AWS DNS and then got the /API. So actually the /API match kind of. Yeah, I give you two copies. One is that you can run as the racing API, but just turn having you okay. You can follow either one of the configuration or structure, but to me like a better behavior over the /API. So I would like to let language. Okay, so this one is like belongs to the API. Okay, and then when I put /API/get item, then the JSP file will handle. But before that, because we have the value from the car, everything on the car, the nginx, if you check, I also have the nginx.txt. If you download the nginx, and yes, you can download it. I know we have so many things. Actually, I will keep one more thing. So you see a /API right here. So you need to modify your nginx. So the whole pictures when it comes out. So when you send a request, first nginx will read your so the nginx file will be on your AWS file, and then the API server or MongoDB or API server JS. All this you need to put on the server. But you can create a folder.
This one.
This one is the configuration. So you know the etc sites available.
Yeah.
Okay, so next one, this class we have shown. Just if you can talk about it, I will specific talking this class. For this class, I just agree. So we need to modify. I don't know you have enough time to teach you everything, but if you research it and then for the later lab, I also will talk about this. Okay. 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 So for others, I can demonstrate and show you. And you can but so far for the
Well, that look was just.
what we have.
Yes.
Okay,
That's
so
what they put so much.
okay. Now I will show you. I will answer your question. Okay. The reason why, if you look at I need to connect it. So, for this one, that's very connected. Yeah,
Audio SH.
plus the function should be in
So audio SH is. Yeah, so here you're right about that. Also, I say go into the.
Okay.
You install all your meetings installed.
So.
Yeah, he's still. I'm also having, because I'm doing this stuff locally, I'm gonna be. I'm not able to see now. PowerShell now, so I think side.
So if you look at the content, so actually I put that is API.
It's basically just.
So the structure can be like actually they are just like yeah. So if you I start with the meaning phase, and then we also like we can like it has and then the normal One version my idea this one is working. So
Well,
if you look at
I know that.
some, yeah, it's somewhere right here, you use, yeah, and then if you so you see my it's like, so my next slash, like I would be that slash, then I would be that, with that way, I would provide the and it's always like that one we get to so then let's say it's like I get the things so that's the thing oh for the handle I will follow connect so things like connect
Learn how to run.
so for the this one I did so so if you look at my example, so when you see that page exactly,
We're gonna search it again.
okay, we will do a technical performance. Okay. Yeah, I know for this one, I can like. And we are one let us go to so I think that I try to talk about today and actually like was the language I will like so the other components okay so
And I know that's.
I know
another big.
so what kind of need to get more than we are not like common but it's like so all this on the surface and so you just like choose either one this one yeah and although we can just simply you know some like I would tell you that actually you can do any program like usually then and then usually by using we have one I can run the so making the method so we don't have that option if you're a business I think it's for developers and I just put some no when I send to that I will go back again. Yeah, and then after you go back work and then you need to do one. So one is that become a first where you are. So if you find something any UI package, you usually work with them. Yes, okay, that I can do. Okay, yes, I remember. Yeah, just like for that, and then refer to the online. You got it, like how to use like how we want them about. You can check book and so. So here's the plate and so this one you see I will for this one so this one you don't be saying yeah, And maybe this slide I don't relate to that impression. So if you can get the page, like and at least you should like try to get the response if you follow you should have the same page. Yeah. So if you copy my data fetcher and then import it, you should, if you don't change anything, you should see this part because you're getting the data from my server. Okay. And then what you need to do is like learning how to build the API server, hosting on your own server. Also like connect to the MongoDB. And then later I will tell you how to configure the Nginx. Okay. So while you are you all able to this table, you are able to start your API server, right? No?
Yeah, no, there's no select. No. Because you can go into the center.
When it's big fail, I know something fail, just I have a food there, almost for maybe I would just stop here. So when I stop it, if you're maybe always the first place. Sometimes the IP address is changed when we start the system, but it's easy no easy. That is like for the flash and don't know when use the AWS and so it's some issue with this. So you're connecting using the VPS. So it's still okay, but sometimes it may change. The name shouldn't change. When we put it, the IP address will change. Just making sure if you and check the state of it.
And then I figure out the Data fetcher. I'm not sure.
Maybe so many people connect. Yeah. Give me a second. Pardon me. Yeah. Yeah, I will show you. Also, I'm recording so you can follow. Okay. Okay. So right here, if let's say, yeah, because I know some of you still need to fix it or like apply file, but I try to record it so you can follow. Okay. So let me connect to my. Okay. Let me connect to the server. Okay. So right now I connect to my AWS server. So let me see the. Let's say for CSCI file. Okay, it's right here. Okay. Right now you see you can put any file. So maybe to you, you can put name it, create a folder called let's say SLV CSCI 380 and then /API. So just remember the folder you put this file. So what do you need to do? Just like create a folder. So anywhere from the, but I recommend like put it under the SRV, and then you can put it like maybe for the subject CSI 380 and then /API. You can doing this, and then my file is the API server.js. So remember when you create this file, always give the correct permission. So we need to using the chmod, like it's 755. Also, we need to use the chown to change the ownership, like under Ubuntu and then the semicolon. So just remember using a chown, Ubuntu, CSI, and then I put like CS API. So API / and then CSI maybe 480 and the API server. So when you're doing this, I will get the NGX to read this file. Okay. Also we can do it. So this one is just a setting of your file, and then let me do the cat. Okay. So here is the same like is the server I'm right now running on the server. So I execute as a service. So you'll see actually exactly copy of like the one you download. So just refer so you see everything is the same. And then one more thing is like, okay, I can start my server. Okay, I need to stop the first one. Okay. Okay, I stop it. Okay, so you can do it in this way. Let's say I want to run the server. I can do the like node and then API server. So you see right now, if I start it and then I run it correctly. This one is a message I told you to remove that topology, because like if for the old version it works, right now for new version is fading out, so it's a warning. So if let's say running this one under the local host 3000, okay, you see running it, and because it's in for like development, it's okay. You can like open the terminal and test it. But for deployment, like or like you want to like in production, we never really running it this way. So you need to do one more thing, because it's one of the node package we can use called the PM2. So you can use the PM2 is like using the called the npm install PM2 -G is globally. So when you install the Node.js, we have the Node modules folder too, but that one is like under your user account. So after we install the PM2, then we can use a function called the PM2 start the app, and also I can have some more like this. Let me show you. As I need to modify it, and then I don't want to let it watch my. You don't have to change it. So keep the local host, and then you can still running under localhost 3000. So you don't have to change anything. One thing is that I use the unified topology. So this one is like kind of like fading out. If you install the new version, so it will pop up the message. What you need to do, just remove it. So I will save it. And I will recommend one is called a PM2. So I already installed the PM2. So if you install it, you can use the PM2 and then start it. And I give you the absolute path. So it's called the like API, and then CSCI I'm using for other class for API server service. And then the file API.js. And I dash name. So this one is like I instead giving absolute path, I give it a name. So I give CSCI for 23. And then another one's I give a space. Watch. So I will keep like monitoring if I change the content of this file, so it will reload it. So I don't have like stop the service and then start it again. Okay. So right now is I already executing. So I just check it. And so if I start the local host, then already finished this part. And the next part is that you have question like what's the Nginx? So Nginx, you can sudo nano etc Nginx sites available, and then go to your Nginx configuration. Maybe most of you only have the default file, so you can remove it, like using the remove remove it, and then we will create a new one. So let's say CSCI, I just named this one, and what you need to do just like place it. I gave you all the content, so you need to replace the server name so to your own EC2 DNS. So this one is putting like on your cloud. So the default root, you will see this root is like for the static file. The static file is the purpose is like maybe I have like the form like this, or like running on the server. Then you can see this one it's a static file I'm using. And the mainly important part is the proxy. The proxy, I mentioned about like will be right here. So we have called the location/API. So that's why you see I give you two files, like the API server and the MongoDB, that one. So you see the one it like comes with the /API, but this one is like specific. When I put the /API, I will pass it to the localhost 3000. So what's the localhost 3000? The API happy.js we are executing. So with the route, right? So that one is the localhost 3000. That's what we are executing. And if you change the API server, like the happy.js that one to let's say 4000, then you need to change this one to 4000. Okay. So you can like change by default just 3000. And then we need to like one is the COIS. So you need to add the header. So let you to access, like let's say you are locally access it, then we need to add this header. Okay. For the details like why it's doing, then for those taking the 422 cloud computing, you know more. But for web, I'm not spend too much time about it. And then another one is the PFPM. So just this one is kind of like by default, just like 8.3. That's what you install. So you just like follow everything. You don't have to change anything. And then just like follow this one, create it. Okay. So just like control, exit it. And then after you create the new one, let's say you say CSCI 380, then use the sudo ls like CSCI and then link it to your enable. Okay. So when you press enter, because I already have it, so press enter, and then after you link it, then you use the nginx -t if you check like for testing the configuration, and then we're using the system reload. So it'd be like this. Like nginx -t to check the configuration, and then system, like we load the this one is MongoDB. We load the nginx. So far everything, then you will be able to like access the API server. That's like what you're going to do, because right now like everything getting worse. So suppose I will help you, like you should able finish the configuration of the API server, then you will be able like connect to the server and then get the result like this. Then you can connect, like modify the data fetcher I gave you as a sample. Then you can like get your own like pieces of data. Your question? Okay, yeah, I'll come to help you. And because it's end of the class, so I just finished the sharing. And